Humboldt Regional Occupational Program classes offer education in key career fields identified as the targets of opportunity by the Humboldt County Economic Development Department. These courses provide students with hands-on experience and skills required to work at jobs that are in demand in our area and pay well. With the help of experienced business and industry experts, students who have completed these courses are prepared to find work or have a good start towards completing a college degree in their field. The HROP vision is for students to meet the demands of high-wage, skilled employment in today's job market. These capstone classes are aligned with the Career Technical Education's CTE, as well as academic standards for the state of California. In HROP video production class, we learn to shoot and edit video in many formats. We do fun experimental projects, documentary style, public service announcements. We even work in a professional television studio here on campus. We learn how to use a variety of cameras, from flips to high-end professional models in the television studio. We also learn how to edit in Final Cut Pro. Every project is fun, creative, and sometimes even inspirational, like the PSAs we created about water conservation. This HROP class helps prepare students for media jobs.
I have learned how to use a camera, specifically a professional camera, how to work in a television studio, how to properly interview someone, how to work with different camera angles, and how to edit my videos, which is really important.
In ROP video class, I've learned how to frame a shot specifically to what's going on, and I've learned how to use Final Cut Pro and edit, and I've learned continuity in how to use continuity in my video, and how to make the shots go in consecutive order. And I've also learned how to use a green screen and how to chroma key, which is how you put an image behind you. Yeah, and okay.
It's pretty amazing. I interviewed the district attorney candidates, which was pretty fun. And right now I'm working on a detective film, which is my most favorite of the whole entire year because it's so much fun.
The detective film, I got to direct that, and that's a lot of fun because I get to have a say in like what I want to happen and where I want my actors and how I want them to do stuff. And I also like the green screen project, which is pretty fun. I got to play a ghost twin of myself, and that was a lot of fun. I got to play around with that, sort of make myself invisible.
In the HROP Agriculture Department, students learn to work with many kinds of animals. Not only do they manage familiar farm animals, but aquatic too. They also learn how to grow food in large and small quantities. Their skills and eventual expertise may be the food resources of our future generations. These classes provide a variety of courses that teach the necessary skills through the state-of-the-art training needed to find a job within the field of agriculture.
In ag, I've learned where my food comes from and how they have raised it.
Not only learning about it, we actually get to grow our own food and raise our own animals.
Just all kinds of products made in ag, like your clothes come from ag and all your food is from ag. You have to know what they put on the crops to make them grow. I've learned the good and bads from all the different organisms and herbicides they put on the food.
We've learned about how to can foods, so maybe not meat this year, but maybe you have too many apples or you have too many vegetables for that season and you don't want to have them go to waste. We learned how to preserve them with vinegar and salts and different types of waters and how it works.
I've learned in ag production about beef production, swine production, plant production, and dairy production. And we're on our swine unit right now. And in our swine unit, we're learning about how to give shots and what to give the shots when the piglets are born, what's nutritious, and I can use these skills because I have a breeding project for swine because I'll raise pigs for the rest of my life, and that will be my food source. It'll be homegrown.
In our ag program, we got to travel a bunch, and without the ag program, I wouldn't have wanted to go to college.
So the purpose of the aquaculture class, it's a class funded through HROP. It's the second year that the class has been funded, and the original purpose was to educate students about our local oyster industry. As far as our students are concerned, it was to educate them about the local industries and the future of aquaponics and aquaculture in Humboldt County.
One of the projects that we have worked on in this year was the Dungeness crab dissections, the Pacific oysters, and abalone.
Last year I helped develop the first hand-built aquaculture aquaponics tank at Eureka High. It was pretty successful.
What we really learn about in aquaculture is sea life and the industries that harvest food from the ocean, but it's more about the relationship that humans have with the ocean and how we can get food from the ocean without exhausting it.
There's so many jobs available in Humboldt County related to aquaculture, aquaponics, mariculture, which is the farming of fish or oysters or clams in salt water.
I really like the class because it's getting people from my generation into jobs that are going to not only be producing food, but are going to help them to be successful individuals and be less impacting on the environment.
In my floral design class, I've learned how to take raw materials and create an arrangement that not many people have tried before, just because it's kind of out of the ordinary, taking flowers you wouldn't put together and colors you wouldn't put together and just creating shapes and designs that aren't normal, but they turn out pretty cool. And one of the most practical things I've learned in this class is how to make boutonnieres and corsages for dances, and this has helped me a lot because I was able to make my own for my prom and make my friends. I plan on using these skills in my future because I plan on going to Modesto Junior College for a degree in ag business, but a minor in floriculture, and I will be applying for the floral internship at Modesto. And after my 2 years at Modesto, I plan on transferring to Cal Poly to be a part of their floral design team, and I want to eventually open my own floral shop.
HROP shop classes consist of cabin making, welding, auto repair, and power mechanics. Each shop uses professional tools and equipment for hands-on training, workplace safety education, and specialized industry-approved techniques. Qualified professionals are often the teachers in these classes. The HROP Automotive Mechanics program is an early start for a career in the automotive field. Students learn to use the most up-to-date tools for tune-ups, brake systems, electric systems, lubrication service, and parts management. They complete the course ready for entry-level positions in their field. All students get down and dirty with hands-on practice to gain experience. Each student has the opportunity to achieve industry certification of competency in one or more specialized skill sets. This opens doors for future employment in this ever-important field.
I'm Matt Brown, and I'm a senior at Eureka High. I'm in the wood shop cabinetry program. Things I've learned are how to use all sorts of tools, table saw, joiner, planer, routers. I have built a bed for myself, a nightstand, and a guitar. I also just built a coffee table. I'll use these skills in the future for probably building most of my own furniture in my house. It's definitely nice to know that I can build it my own.
Learned a lot about joinery and how to use different saws and hand tools. And for the majority of this year, I've been working on a redwood dining table. And at the moment, I'm working on a box using dovetail joinery. And I'll use these skills in the future with a lot of problem solving, and I'll be able to make furniture for my house.
I learned how to use the machines like the joiner, the planer, the router, the bandsaw, and how to use them safely, and also how to take pieces of wood that are kind of like torn up and turn them into like really nice looking projects.
In woodshop I've learned like how to use all the tools safely and make like more complex projects and just do things like out of the usual and make projects that are more complicated and like challenge myself.
In welding, I've learned how to strike an arc with an arc welder and learn my basic welds. so that I can improve upon those welds.
You just pretty much learn how to strike the rod in the beginning and then pretty much get a good weld on the metal. And then when we moved on to the second semester, we pretty much learned how to do T-joints, which was to have a bottom plate and then top one, which makes a T-joint shape. And we weld between the creases, and that makes a vertical weld pretty much.
This year, we are currently working on a smoker barbecue. We have a horse trailer that another group is working on. We fixed a bed for an old Chevy truck. And we built a tool rack for all the gardening tools down in the ag department. And we just recently got that bolted up.
Some other projects we've been working on is wine glass chandelier. And that's actually coming pretty well. It looks very well. And some other projects we've been working on is that we made these live, love, life, and that one looks pretty good.
We also made a pig ramp so it would be easier to load the pigs onto the trailer, so they didn't have to make a step. They could just walk up the ramp for easier loading. In the future, I plan on using these skills to build a bumper for my truck, and possibly a new and better improved headache rack on it. And I can use these skills for other random little projects I'd like to do in the future.
I think this skill can help you in many ways. For example, if you need to make something out of metal and not to go buy it out there in the future, you can just build it, and it's a good way to learn too.
In power mechanics this year, we have started off in the first semester taking apart Kohler engines. We went through, named all the parts, and were able to tell what they did. Then we put them together, and that was about when the semester ended. Second semesters, we started projects, and I've been working on the same one the whole time. It's a old 50s case tractor. We've had to go through, put a new radiator, new water pump, different things like that.
We also have students working on lawnmowers, weed eaters, go-karts, and rideable lawnmowers.
I think that this will help me just in general because I'll be able to work on any different equipment that I have. And I plan on going to Shasta Community College, doing a heavy equipment operating course. And part of that course is working on diesel engines.
The HROP Law Enforcement Program helps students gain solid skills, techniques, and responsibilities for working in the public safety field. Students learn problem-solving techniques for handling people in stressful and potentially dangerous situations. This requires dedication and hard work. Students learn how to capture and restrain suspects safely. Students have a variety of guest speakers share their expertise in law enforcement, such as California Highway Patrol, CHP, and the Bomb Squad, and even those who work in juvenile detention centers.
What I learned in law enforcement is that you need to be quick on your feet and you just need to think appropriately, in that you always got to expect the worst but hope for the best.
Go like this. Yeah.
We definitely don't do this anymore because all they do in prison is practice how to come back at us. So come back with your right elbow like you're going to do. They can do that before I could react. So we don't have them do that because it's not safe.
Some projects I've worked on this year would be for the SO Explorers, and I think they have really helped me in law enforcement career. Once I graduate, I would like to join the probation office and hopefully join for the SO.
I have to believe in what I do and be ready for any challenges that come my way. So my plan for the future with these skills that I got from law enforcement is to join the correctional officers at juvenile hall and help the future generation become better and help them become better people.
HROP Accounting, Architectural Design, and Becoming a Teacher classes teach essential skills required to begin training in these fields. These classes provide education and hands-on experience students will need in a working environment. Focusing on communication and management skills, they work collaboratively to deepen their understanding and creativity in these fields.
In accounting this year, I've learned many things. I've learned how to manage money, I've learned how to write checks, and I've learned how to be an accountant and how to deal with accounts receivable and accounts payable. We've learned leadership skills, we've learned teamwork. We always work together in groups or in partnerships to work together to learn how to solve a problem. We've also learned good skills that will help us later on. We've done the Knowledge at Wharton High School Investment Challenge, and we split into 2 groups, and we get $100,000, and we have to invest in sectors and stocks and then watch how they either increase or decrease. And we're writing an end report. We wrote a mid-project report. In the future, I want to open my own business, and so I feel like the skills that I'm learning in accounting this year and that I'll learn next year will help me as I go to college and learn as well. They will help me to open my own business and to be a successful business.
What I've learned in this HROP Becoming a Teacher class is I've learned how to do lesson plans, and I've learned how to deal with troubled kids and help them learn in the classroom.
So what I've learned in this class, in the Becoming a Teacher class, is how to handle kids, and I'm working with individuals and learning about their skills and helping them improve.
What I've learned in the Becoming a Teacher class at Eureka High is we were taught, before we went to our classrooms, we were taught a bunch of motivational theories and social learning theories that really helped you working with the kids, and even outside of the classroom, working with high schoolers now, and just understanding how people learn and what motivates people to learn was really helpful.
A project I've done this year is we were sent to classes, and I was sent to a class, a 5th grade class, that specifically needed to help on algebra and math, pretty much. So that's what I did. I tutored kids with algebra and their basic math skills. It helped them improve, and that's all I did.
Okay. And how I plan on using these skills in the future is I plan on going to CR and taking classes to become a teacher, and I will be taking the paraprofessional test so that I can get a job for teaching.
I'm not sure whether I want to become a teacher or not, but I never even considered that before I took this class. But after taking this class, I might want to be a teacher in the future. I see how difficult they have it, but then again, it's really rewarding working with the students. Especially when you take a student that hasn't read before, they can't read, barely learning their letters, and then by the end of the classroom setting, they've, reading 2nd grade level. It's incredible, and it's really rewarding. And if I ever want to be a parent in the future, this is the class to take for that. I would definitely recommend this class to anyone. It doesn't just help, if you want to be a teacher in the future, if you want to be a parent in the future, if you want to work with students on any level, if you want to work with special needs, if you want to work with high schoolers, you don't just have to work with middle school. It's really helpful in all levels of anything you do with children.
In my architectural design class, I've learned how to build houses, I guess, in a 3D model or in a 2D model using SketchUp as a 3D model and AutoCAD in 2D. So we've learned the basics on how to design a house and the wall structures and the roof structures, how wide doors are, how wide the windows should be, pretty much just the basics on the construction of a house. Projects that I've worked on this year, we created a house and used the SketchUp model to build it first, which is a 3D, and then we moved it into an AutoCAD. So we showed the 2D model of it, so the floor plans, roof plans, just the inside of the house basically. And then so now we're working on another house, but we're mostly using AutoCAD to get the details of it, and then moving it into a SketchUp to draw it, and then like manipulating it from SketchUp, like resizing walls to make it look good in person. So if you saw the house on the street, it would look good. Using these skills in the future, I plan on going to college and maybe looking for a civil engineering program or architectural design program, maybe getting into construction details or something like that once I go to college.